Evening and welcome to Meldon Law Monday, the Buddy Martin Show. I am Buddy Martin, joined just a second by the host of Pot Up with Matthews, Shane Matthews, on the call Saturday as the Gators debuted against Long Island and won the game as expected. Lots and lots of things to talk about tonight, though. What an unbelievable weekend. But it was just the best ever, and we're able to see that this football season is in for a lot of stuff. So coming up on the program tonight is Shane's take on everything. Also, we have Franz Beard, who was at the press conference today and heard Billy Napier's press conference. And then we've got our Kevin Brockway. He'll wrap it up for us. Which game did you like the best? Well, which one did you see? Which I'll tell you what, there were some bizarre games, and things got a lot tougher for the Florida Gators just after watching this. Stay tuned. I'll tell you why right here on this program called The Buddy Martin Show for a reason, because I am the host and the sponsor is Meldon Law. Stand by.
Yes, it's time again for Buddy Martin. Call him up and tell him what you're thinking. But be kind because he's doing the best he can.
Better, stronger, faster.
Mama says that alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth but no toothbrush.
Hey, what if the voice calls while you're gone?
Take a message.
Bye.
You ready, champ? I'm ready for this my whole life.
I'm incapable of small talk. But that's why you love me, right?
Kind of intimidating to be in the presence of so many great athletes.
Hey, we got it. It's here. We got ball going on, and it was quite the weekend. I watched it every step of the way. Spent a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort to get those games, and wound up having to go somewhere to watch it because I couldn't get it on my home TV. But that's another story. Shane Matthews was there on the call. Good evening to you, Shane. And I heard your show this morning, and you called it pretty much right. But I think there were so many really weird things this weekend. I mean, we may not like to say it, but FSU had the most impressive win, just actually sort of dominating the Alabama team. It looked like it didn't want to play.
Yeah, give Florida State a lot of credit. I think Gus Malzahn did a tremendous job doing what he does with those players. Alabama effort wasn't great. I think that was a great win, but I think the other three big games to me stood out to me more than that game.
Yeah, well, explain, of course, nationally Texas and Arch Manning not playing as well. And you predicted that somewhat. He hadn't got enough reps that showed up. And I've still got a bone to pick with Steve Sarkisian. I've been telling you this for a while now. I'm not absolutely enamored with his play calling. And I'll tell you something else while I'm on that subject. He didn't have Manning ready to play. For whatever reason, he wasn't ready. He wasn't coached up enough. No Spurrier quarterback would ever go on that game like that, including his throwing motion. Shane, what is that sidearm 98-mile-an-hour fastball he throws?
Yeah, his fundamentals weren't good, but I still think Sarkisian is one of the best play callers. I think the game was won by Matt Patricia, the defensive coordinator, who was not there last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not who Texas went against last year. Arch didn't play great, but I saw a thing today. His old Uncle Peyton in his first start played worse than Arch did.
Really?
Statistically, yeah. Ohio State and Texas, to me, have maybe the two best defenses in America. I think both those teams will make the playoffs. Texas will be fine. It wasn't a great showing, but it wasn't a great showing by Ohio State, quite honestly. They had barely 200 yards of offense. Texas had the ball inside the 5 2 or 3 times and got 0 points and still had a chance at the end. So it was a heck of a football team with two tremendous teams loaded with talent. And I think both of those teams will be probably in the 12-team playoff.
Yeah, it could be. I saw actually Peyton when he came on the field against Florida the first time at halftime. I was there, and I remember him playing. And I don't think he was as bad as
that was his first. I said his first start, but
the first start. I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was not against Florida.
No, but he came on the field the first time in the second half against Florida. I remember that.
His first start, I think, was against Alabama.
Okay, well, it was the following week, I think.
From stat wise, here I got it right here. I'll tell you exactly what happened.
By the way, the guy he took the place of went on to become a Hall of Fame baseball player with the Colorado Rockies, as you know.
Right. So their first starts against top 10 teams is what it is.
Okay.
Arch went against number 3 Ohio State. He was 17 of 30, 170 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Peyton against number 10 ranked Alabama was 10 of 18 for 138 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Or whatever that's worth.
I guess it's not so much the stats. It's that I thought for a guy who was there 2 years, he would be more ready. His throwing motion bothered me. He didn't look instinctive. He didn't look as confident as I'd like for him to look. And I just don't think he was coached up. That's my opinion. He may have had great play callers, but he wasn't ready for that game. And I think he will be a great quarterback at some point in time. It wasn't on Saturday. And Ohio State, give them credit, they were tough up front. And Patricia did a heck of a job on them. Those DBs for Ohio State were world class. So anyway, we didn't get, and now we get him coming back here in a couple of weeks. You want to make sure he doesn't get well on you when he comes back to Florida field. So what else did you see, Shane, that you liked or didn't like?
Well, I thought Miami and Notre Dame; those are 2 teams that can win a lot of games this year. And then obviously LSU and Clemson. I think both those teams are loaded. Just tremendous defenses on both sides of the ball. Not a whole lot of fireworks, but it's due to I think those 2 teams are really good.
Yeah, Miami, obviously he got his second chance and got his mulligan, and he played really well at quarterback. And Miami's defense was really good. That number 10, what a player he is too. That was a heck of a ball game. Now all of a sudden, we're looking at a different kind of schedule for the Florida Gators. I mean, we knew they were going to be tested. And in addition to the fact they've got the toughest schedule, and they now have to go to LSU, which now it's cooking. They're really going to be hopping there. We knew that before. Now they feel like they found something. Franz doesn't agree with me. I think so all of a sudden LSU looks legitimate, in my opinion. I got a Miami team that now is confident. So there's 2 teams you might have counted as W's that might be dicey for the Gators. And now it's just a tough gauntlet they got coming up here in a couple of weeks.
Well, I never put W's on them because I think playing at Tiger Stadium 7:30 at night against, I think, our buddy Chris Doran picked him to win the national title, and I before the season, and I agree with him. They loaded up with their issues in the portal, and I think Nussmeier might be the best quarterback in America, and
solid.
Yeah, he's a really good player. So it's going to be tough, no question about it. And Miami looks very big up front, very athletic at all the skill positions. So, yeah, it's not going to be easy, but that's what we sign up for. Get ready to go play.
I will say that what they did, they got a quarterback who had been sort of lost interest in the game, and they've rehabbed him. And I've got him now where you see his quote, "They taught me how to love football again." And he played with more poise. He had got away with a couple of throws, but overall he did the job. I think he proved he is a big time quarterback, and they are much better with him at quarterback. So let's see how it turns out. But no, I think that was a rehab job. And that's the thing you got to remember is that it's not just the job of the coach to call plays. It's the job of the coach to get a guy mentally ready, to get a guy to give them mechanics if he doesn't have them, to coach him up and get him in between the ears. Arch wasn't there. I guess it just wasn't enough time, But what happens when you do that? All of a sudden, you begin to see the results as Miami did, and I think they did a very good job, and he did a very good job. The big story might have been Tommy Castellanos, transfer from Boston College that nobody thought was going to be much good, and all of a sudden he's running the football. Gus Malzahn makes a big difference in that offense, and they're going to be a different team. So you've got all these teams getting better. FHU getting better. Look at Tennessee; they're better. We thought LSU might be better than they thought. So far as schedule, if you had them at 10 wins, you might be saying, "Oh, boy, let me go back and revise that."
I mean, you got to go play the game. Our roster is very good, but all these other teams have just as good a rosters or better. Just got to go out, compete. Whoever executes gets the breaks, will win the game.
Well, Shane, USF at the top it off is looking stronger. If you haven't heard, the betting line is dropping all of a sudden, And that was the game that Florida counted in the W column. And they should win that game, but there's not going to be a laydown. They're going to have that defense of USF, in my opinion. I was raving about Carson Beck and finding a new home and all that sort of stuff and thanking his teams. And he was an impressive player. But there are other quarterbacks this weekend who look good, which is not good. One of them was not Cade Public, by the way. Everybody talked about how great he was.
He'll be fine.
He might be fine, but he lost a big game. I get tired of people saying he'll be fine.
But, buddy, here's the thing. Did anybody go undefeated last year in college football?
Yeah, but you judge the game. Yeah, but Shane.
But buddy, it's not like Cade Klubnik lost to Wake Forest. LSU's probably going to be the number one team in America when the polls come out tomorrow.
Well, that's fine, but the people who told me he was the best quarterback in America didn't have it right, okay? That's all I got to say. I heard, he's the best. He's up there.
Who told you that?
I've heard it all over the internet. He makes
He's one of the top 5 or 10.
Okay, but he wasn't the best one on the field that night. And
because the guy that he played against is the best player best quarterback in America.
Well, there you go. So there's a lot of good quarterbacks. They had a lot of good, really good games this past week. Let's back it up and start with the big call, the big prediction, and how it went for game day. Did you know that segment they did with Lee making his final pick was the highest rated segment ever on ESPN on game day? Did you know that?
I did not know that, but it doesn't surprise me one bit.
Yeah. And, here's the thing. I never have really bought into that hype. I know it's shtick. It's okay. It's fine. It's worked well for him. But the fact is, it's become so big now that it has its own audience. And I think Herb Street has contributed mightily to that, the way he adopted him as like his father practically, and took care of Coach when he got had a stroke and his problem. And there's been a real good relationship going on there. And I have a lot of admiration for Herb Street doing that. But it definitely was good TV, and it worked out well. It went on for 3 hours, Shane. Did you watch any of it?
I watched the very end. I'm not a big College Game Day guy. I don't watch that show, but I watched it just because of Lee Corso and watched probably the last 15 minutes of it. Look, he made the show. Now, I don't know what their ratings are going to be moving forward, that he's not on there.
No.
So we'll see.
I think Saban does a good job. I think their show is. I'm not a huge game day guy either, but I do watch it. And congratulations to Coach Corso for a fabulous career. He's 90 years old. He got to go out on his own, and he was extremely popular. And it was a good show and a good theater. And like he always said, it's entertainment, baby. And even Saban. Do you hear Saban say that? I came on here my first time to talk ball, and I quickly learned that it wasn't about talking ball. It was about entertainment. And Saban has learned that too as well. So anyway, so now you think, how much tougher is the Gators schedule? Miami, LSU, Tennessee, they all look better. Do you think that things look a little harder than they did before for the Gators?
I don't, because every game's different. Things are going to change. I thought going into the season LSU was going to be damn good. I wasn't sure about Miami, but I think they've made a lot of good additions to their team. Just watching the game on TV. South Florida, I've been saying for a couple of weeks they were going to give us problems because of their style of play and their quarterback.
Yeah, you have been saying that.
Now, that doesn't mean we can't win by 30. We're going to need to play better than we did the other night, though.
Well, let's break down the QB play. All right, DJ played okay. Didn't play great. Didn't play bad. He made. I heard you talk about how the catch that that Vernell made was a fantastic catch. But as you said, if DJ had made the right throw, it was a touchdown. Give me your assessment overall. Was he as good as you thought he'd be? Was he not as good? We know he was rusty. He didn't get enough reps, and you kept saying that, as others did too. Give me your real hardcore assessment of DJ Lagway's game.
Well, he didn't play like he did last year because he hasn't been participating in practice for a long time, and I think he left the pockets a couple of times when he didn't need to. And look, you got to have reps. It's different than playing any other position. You don't need all the reps at other positions, but at quarterback you do because, as I said, there are people in his face. He escaped the pocket sometimes too soon. He missed a couple of reads, which happens. Like on the Vernell play, if he stays in the pocket and goes through his reads and he hits him in stride, he's wide open. It's a walk-in touchdown. But look, DJ's going to be fine. I think what people need to take out of that game is that he ran around and he took some hits and got up and kept playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a couple comments for you this morning about your show. Bruce Green said he enjoyed it. I think NIO has a question for you. What did you think of the offensive line overall and going forward?
I was surprised. They pressured us a little bit, and then they had some tackles for loss, which I didn't think Long Island would have. I think we need to block them up a little bit better this week. And again, like I said, not every play is going to work. That's what drives me crazy talking football. I love to talk football, buddy, but everybody thinks every damn play is going to work. It doesn't. Mm-hmm. If they did, we'd score a touchdown every freaking play. That doesn't work that way. Yeah. There's people complaining about everybody. A buddy of mine sent me some tweets from Notre Dame fans. Look, I think Notre Dame's going to be they're a damn good football team. They're one of the top 10 teams in America, regardless of what happens the other night. They're going to be fine. Their quarterback is going to be fine. There's a winner and a loser, and they played a damn good team. But South Florida will challenge us in a lot of areas, especially their offense.
They're fast. They're quick. They like to go tempo on you.
Yes.
So they're going to have to get lined up. Well, here's a couple of impressive things. No penalties.
Yes, that's very impressive.
Now, what we didn't want to see was another one of those nightmares that we've seen, about not lining up correctly. We didn't get any of that. Cats and jammer kids, they used to call it. Dallas Wilson was injured, I'm told. That's why I don't think he dressed out, right?
Yeah, he's been in a boot for about 2 weeks.
Yeah. The other Wilson played okay. Boy, what about Vernell Brown? Wow. It's not just the catch, but the punt returns and his overall presence on the field. Very impressive, huh?
Yeah, I knew he was going to be a good player. He does a lot of little things that like he's a really good punt returner, decision maker, but he gets going north. He doesn't try to outrun people on the outside. Yeah. As I like to call it, this isn't the boys club or Pop Warner. You can't do it at that level. And he catches the ball, splits the defenders, and gets what he can get.
That's a great point. You're exactly right. They sure does. And you can tell it what it does to the defense right away.
Yeah, so that's what used to drive me crazy about Kadarius Toney. He used to try to reverse field and outrun people and go backwards. And it works 1 out of every 20 times he tried it.
Yeah.
But no, Vernell, he does a lot of little things. I knew he was going to be a good player when Eli Williams, his high school coach, told me he's a combination of Ike Kwesi and Riedel.
Oh, boy, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about here, not the least of which is the quarterback. I'm excited about the backup quarterback now, Shane.
Dude.
But first, Jonathan Beckles has a question for you. Shane, you said some of those reads where the tight ends were wide open. He didn't hit them, but I'm not doubting him. Just stay in the pocket and let the play develop. Answer to Jonathan?
I don't remember saying anything about the tight ends, but what I'm saying is I didn't feel like DJ played like he normally does. And I think he even acknowledged that in his presser that, he didn't play up to his standard or something along those lines. He'll be fine. You don't always make the right reads. I just didn't think he looked comfortable playing the other night.
Couple things. I'm going to bring Franz in here. First of all, nice win for Shane Beamer. I'm not a big Shane Beamer fan, but I'm getting to be bigger. Nice win for him to have the call back. You see the play? They had a penalty, and
the punt return changed the outcome of the game.
Yeah, he was thrilled because his dad was well known for his special teams play, and it was an honor to his father, I'm sure. So, how about Auburn getting a quarterback?
Well, he did a lot of running.
He did.
Auburn, to me, has the best receiving core probably in America, and he's going to have to throw the ball to these guys because A, they're going to get frustrated, and B, they're not going to beat SEC teams if they don't get the ball in those guys' hands.
Agreed.
But Jackson Arnold did a good job running and making yards, but he's got to trust the pass patterns or whatever and get the ball to those dudes because if they do that, Auburn can have a really big year.
Yeah. I'm going to bring Franz in here, and I want to talk about this before I want to tell you folks about our sponsor, Meldon Law. Of course, they're well known because Jeffrey Meldon is everywhere. Their firm is getting bigger. They now have 50 people. They go down as far as Southwest Florida. I think they're in, I believe it's in Boca Raton. They also, of course, offices in Ocala, Gainesville, Lake City, and Williston. They're well known for their support of the Gators. They're the only official law firm of the Florida Gators. Jeffrey, of course, is well known as a contributor sponsor to many things like this program and does a lot of nice things like giving transportation to the band and what have you. Jeffrey Meldon also runs a really good law firm. If you need that kind of legal help, you should contact them, especially if you're a Gator. Put your money where your mouth is like he did. Meldon Law. He won't back down. Good evening, friends. And while I've got you here, Shane, I'm really impressed with Tramel Jones.
Buddy, I saw him in a few practices I went to, but you can't. That's why going to practice does nothing for me. I need to see him playing real game. I ain't seen anybody take their steps, know where to go with the ball, and throw the way he does since Trask or Spurrier guy. Mm-hmm. He is a natural thrower. He throws a catchable ball. He has different pace on it. He's had a nice little drop shot on one of his touchdowns on a corner route. But I was blown away in the press box or booth or radio booth watching him because he didn't play last year, I believe. Correct? If he
was injured, yeah,
he was hurt, and I didn't know much about him. He's only about 6 foot. He's not real big. He's probably 6 foot, 205 pounds, something like that. But the ball just comes out of his hands so naturally. Mm-hmm. But what impressed me the most is he knew exactly where to go with the ball. He knew exactly where his check down was. He checked it down to his backs a couple of times. So I think that's no penalties. And obviously, anytime you shut a team out, I don't care what level it is, that's pretty cool. But the way Tramel Jones played, to me, was the thing that I took out of this game.
Franz, he throws a catchable ball, doesn't he?
Well, he does. And for a freshman, first time out with 90,000 people in the stands, watching him go through progressions and go to a second and third receiver when it was necessary. I asked Billy about that today because they had 15 guys catch passes. I mean, that's phenomenal. And as Shane said, I don't care who you're playing. When you got 15 guys catching passes, you've done a really good job. And that's the thing I liked about him was he was very, very patient with the football. He most freshmen that you see, they're looking for that first guy to throw it to, and then locking on the guy and throwing it to him. And he didn't do that. He saw his guy wasn't open, looks for the next one, and so on. I thought he did a really good job of reading the defense, going through his progressions, and then, as Shane said, making the right throw to the right guy.
I like it. And I tell you, this is what I wish I'd have seen out of Manning. And I don't know. It was obviously a big stage. This is a bigger opponent. But you said it, Shane. He looked so intentional. He got out there. He had the ball. He knew his read. He knew where to go with the ball and the kind of ball to throw. He just looked like a veteran quarterback to me. And we've heard it said now. I mean, a couple of guys have spoken about it. Slaughter was one. He raved about him in one of the interviews about how he had seen a guy throwing a quarterback. We didn't pay much attention to that. But this guy, Shane, they got to give him some playing time, don't they?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think time will tell. I mean, obviously DJ's the quarterback, but I think people they can feel pretty good about if something happens or what have you. And who knows? They may plan a couple of series for him. I don't know what they're going to do.
That's what I mean.
I don't know if that's necessary. I'm not one of these guys. I've never been a big fan of that because I'm trying to win the damn game.
You want to stay You want to stay in and go in and stay in the game, though. I get you.
Yeah, I'm not. If we get ahead by 3 scores, that's a different story.
Yeah.
But just putting somebody in there to get them playing time, I don't believe in that. But he was. Again, it was Long Island. I totally get it. They lined up in high school cover 3 the whole game for the entire game. Bell technique on the outside by the corners. But he took his steps and the ball was gone. And that's what I was impressed with.
Yeah. Franz, what impressed you?
Well, again, going through his progressions and being patient enough to find the guy that he needed to throw it to instead of throwing the ball to the first guy, locking in on one guy and then throwing it to him come hell or high water, which is what we're kind of used to seeing from freshmen first time out. But I don't care. It was Long Island. He picked the right guy. He was patient enough. He didn't force anything. And that said much to me was that he didn't force any throws.
Here's a guy we hardly talked about. He had 2 picks in one game last year, if you remember, and actually probably helped run the game for him. Rice Thornton's a ball hawk. He had a scoop and score and had that second recovery. This guy is on the ball, man. I like that a lot about him. It's not just by accident, it's a shame.
Well, some people just have knack of being around the ball. Like you said, he was in the right place at the right time on that first scoop and score. I mean, some people go through their whole career where they don't get an interception or fumble recovery or anything. And, he's been right around the ball most of the time.
I want to say something about Trace Mack. I could be wrong, just what I feel like. He made, 1 field goal? What did he have, 4 tries or 3? I forget. I think
he was 2 for 5.
2 for 5. Okay. Well, look, the one he missed, the short one was, I think Billy talked about it. That was one that was just a screw up. He missed it wide. But, I mean, that wasn't the other one also right his record, like 56 or 57 yards. I mean,
I think it was the second longest in school history.
Yeah, and he made one. I mean, you can't expect him to make those. So I'm not panic about it. I mean, the fact our kicking game. Well, that guy missed a field goal. I mean, really, I don't know. I don't think you have to worry about Trace Mack.
Billy said today that the 2 misses. He said you can't tell from the TV angles. He said the 2 misses were maybe by a combined 1 yard. And he said he didn't miss by much, and it's just a matter of, he says this is the last guy you got to worry about. The 50, he tried one for 57 and he boinked. I mean,
that hit like shoot about at the top of the damn goalpost upright. I mean, that thing would have been good from 60 something.
Yeah. He's got leg, and he, in big games, he's made big kicks. So I'm not worried about him missing a field goal against Long Island. You know, if he gets in the habit of missing field goals against LSU and Texas A&M, then we got something to worry about. But missing against a Long Island, no, I'm not worried about that.
Shane, help me with this on defense. I didn't like that the defensive line got stoned a couple of times. You know, they didn't physically dominate like they should have. The offensive line didn't. And was it just, I mean, are they going to be strong enough to play straight up with physical teams?
Time will tell. Like again, I mean, the other team's they're gonna block you at times. That's what but I didn't think we ran, like from an offensive line standpoint, I didn't think we ran block as well as I thought we would.
No, I agree.
But like I tell everybody, we have a good roster, but everybody we play moving forward has damn good rosters.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to execution on the play and getting breaks, the ball bouncing your way to win games.
Franz, wouldn't you like to see Jaden Ball take it about 5 times in a row?
Oh heavens, he's a stud. I like that he's so instinctive. He gets that second level, and he just has an instinct to head for open space. And he said today, I asked him a question, and he said he just goes where his eyes take him. And the great runners do that. They see Emmett was like that. He'd see his place, his eyes would catch a place, and he just automatically goes to that place and picks up the yards.
You used to call it run the daylight in the old days.
He's still got problems with the guards. He talked about that today. He said he's got 4 guards, and as somebody mentioned walking out the building, he only needs 2, but he's still working 4. His right tackle's a problem. I got to tell you right now, his right tackle's a problem. He's got Jake Slaughter spent the day trying to cover for the guy on either side of him, and that wasn't good. Austin Barber played very, very well. I got to tell you, Austin Barber has come to play ball this year, but the guards
see the grades. I saw a copy of the grades. Okay, I saw them.
I haven't seen him, but
I think the right side didn't play very well.
No, they didn't. He's got to find 2 guards that are going to play. And again, that could be a case of guys coming in there and saying, well, it's Long Island. I don't have to really be 100% focused and whatever like that. We're going to find out this week who's ready to play ball, because after this week, I mean, there's no mulligans after this week. Not with LSU, Miami, Texas, and Texas A&M. Your next 4 ball games. These guys better. They better have that offensive line settled by 8:00 Saturday night. That situation better be settled up.
Shane, what other area of concern do you have?
I mean, I agree with Franz. I was surprised at some offensive line play, but I mean, we'll see. I mean, look, we're going to be tested this week. South Florida has a lot of athletes from the big time football that have gone down to their group of 4 so they can play or get paid more money or whatever. Byron Brown's going to give our defense some fits because he's Anthony Richardson, so to speak. He's not a great thrower. He's going to hit some throws here and there, but he's a physical runner though. So their tempo and his play can cause some problems for us. But look, this is. I mean, would you rather be playing South Florida? Would you want to be playing freaking Long Island again? Right. This is why you come to the University of Florida. This is why you look at the schedule and go, it's a hell of a schedule. I'm excited for it because moving on from now on, the games are going to be very exciting.
What else do we see? We bring in Kevin. What else do we see that we liked? That we know, obviously Vernell and the receivers played well. Was there somebody else or something else you saw Any of you. Good evening to you. What's your name again?
Kevin.
Kevin,
I know.
happy Labor Day to you, buddy.
I know you. Happy Labor Day. I know who you are.
It sounds like you're taking half the day off. You know what I mean?
I was laughing. No, I'm not taking a day off. I was laughing because I can't read your name. My type is so small. Let's see.
Okay.
What is it? See, Kevin. Oh, yeah, wait.
Right.
The Kevin Brockway Gainesville Sun. So
I'll
what
tell
did
you what I
you
liked.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Jaden Ball. I liked the way he ran the football.
Yeah,
I thought he was, and I liked the defense. I did. I thought the defense picked up where they left off at the end of last season. Obviously, turnovers, big. I would say one was created, right? Because Jaden Robinson had that good hit that popped the ball loose. I mean, the second one was a missed pitch, but one was a legit created turnover, which is good to see. And you're going to need to make those kind of plays, especially in the SEC and even some of the non-conference games with how USF, Miami, and Florida State are all playing right now.
Yeah, I think there's some things we talked about. Bryce Thornton, obviously. I think the linebackers appeared to be playing well. Billy Franz seemed pretty. You were there too, Kevin. Prescott seemed to be pretty pleased with the linebackers, as far as I can tell. Was anybody else on defense we should talk about, guys?
Yeah, we should be talking about Jaden Woods. I mean, my gosh. He didn't get credit for a sack because where they spotted the ball was back at the line of scrimmage. So there, you only get a sack if there's negative yards, but he made a heck of a play on there, went through three guys and got that. And he's a real stud. We've been talking so much about Miles Graham and about Aaron Childs. We haven't talked too much about Jaden Robinson, this third year in the system, and he played really, really well the other night. He's not as flashy, I don't think, as the other guys, but he tends to always show up in the right place at the right time. People don't run through his tackles. He gets people. That's, buddy, I think that's probably as encouraging a thing as I saw with the defense the other night was not too many missed tackles. I think he said today, what was it, Kevin? He said
only six the entire game.
Six missed tackles the entire game. I couldn't remember if it was 5 or 6. 6. You're right.
And no penalties.
That's really good. That's really good.
I mean, that Shane getting here one more crack before he goes to get his milk and cookies. This is bedtime. Shane, any one thing you take out of this that makes you feel positive about the game?
Well, I mean, the game kind of went how I expected, right? I don't know what you can take out of Long Island other than if you're not impressed by the backup quarterback, you got problems, because I thought he was very good.
Yeah. That might be my number one thing. Is that
that's the only thing that I take out of this game.
Okay. All right, Shane, thank you. We'll talk to you in the morning. I guess I'm on your show tomorrow. If you allow me back on, you're stuck with me again tomorrow. I promise to be better tomorrow. Okay.
It's all good. We'll get your thoughts, and then we're going to talk to Joey Johnston that covers the Bulls in South Florida.
Been a while. Yes, I haven't talked to him. All right, thank you, Shane.
All right,
Shane
fellas.
Put up with Matthews. You hear him every morning, Monday through Friday, of course. And guys, just to finish up the thoughts, I'm with Shane. The one thing I took out of that game, I guess, I wasn't really looking for DJ to do that much. He was a little more rusty out. He got better as he began to get his rhythm. He took a minute. But that Tramel Jones play, I mean, I was just so pleased at how he played. Now, I couldn't tell from watching my little TV how well the defense was playing. Let's face it, the caliber of their opponent didn't do much for us either. But I'd say we're okay. But I made this point when I came on, and Kevin, I want you to break the tie sort of, is that I think Florida just got a lot tougher schedule. If you look at what Miami did, look at Tennessee, look at South Florida, look who they got now, how much tougher some of these guys are. And if you were thinking 9-10 wins, you might have to rethink that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's some question, but then again, I think, maybe in the beginning of the season, you're looking at Texas as an upset. Is it look like that much of an upset that more the way they played against Ohio State? I don't know. Maybe Arch will get it figured out, but they looked kind kind of sluggish in their first game. You know, the caliber of opponent. Again, they're playing Ohio State. But yeah, no, some of the in-state teams, and certainly what FSU did against Alabama was impressive. Gus Malzahn, bringing him in as play caller, and their defense too, and how physical and tough they look. They look like that their defense is coming back a little bit. So that's going to be that could be a challenge at the end of the year, but at least you have that at home, right? You know, you don't have it. You're not going to Doak. But there's a lot of football to be played, and we'll see. And the Hurricanes, listen, they were in control of that game and almost let it slip away. And Mario had he's similar to Billy. He's got a little bit of a conservative streak in him. He was kind of playing the clock there, and it really almost cost him. I mean, he's very fortunate that kicker rose to the occasion and made the big field goal when he did.
Yeah. I said this. Go ahead, Franz.
I think I was impressed with a lot of stuff about Miami, but I would have liked to have seen them challenged by a quarterback who would throw the ball down the field. I thought that Notre Dame played into Miami's hands by trying to go horizontal. And I don't, Miami's got so much speed. If you go horizontal on them, they're going to kill you. And they really, really did a good job on that.
Franz, the other strange thing about that game was Jeremiah Love was barely used too. And he's supposed to be your best offensive player. And that was a mystery to me too. Like, why didn't they use him more in that game? That to me was baffling in my mind. Now, listen, maybe Miami, you could say they got a good front seven or something, but you got to try to establish a run somehow in that game.
Yeah, Miami, I'll tell you what, I'm impressed with Miami's horizontal speed, being able to get out into the flats and cover stuff. And, some of these plays, I guess Notre Dame thought that some of these plays that maybe work in ACC games, in most ACC games against ACC teams, because what do they do? Notre Dame plays 6 ACC teams, and maybe some of these plays work against Wake Forest, Gump, or somebody like that. But you're not gonna go horizontal on Miami. You've got to take the ball down the field, and they didn't do that. So that's a thing that we're going to have to see about Miami is can that happen? I was not as impressed with Miami's pass protection as I thought I should have been. And maybe Notre Dame's that good, but I thought that their pass protection needs some things. But basically, Miami is solid everywhere. And Carson Beck is not Cam Ward, but I'll tell you what, he's better than 90% of things. He's better than that quarterback that Notre Dame threw at him.
Yeah, and CJ Daniels, obviously making a heck of a catch, the LSU transfer, with the one-handed grab, kind of a little overshadowed Vernell Brown's one-handed grab, which was terrific. But I think the fact that Daniels did it on national TV and in the end zone, it seems to be stealing some of Vernell's thunder in that regard. But that was a terrific catch, and that saved probably an interception from Beck because that ball looked like it was going right towards the defensive back.
The guy's got his hands up ready to catch it, and all of a sudden here comes a hand and just snatches it. I thought that, I thought that was a great catch. And I thought the fact that it went for a touchdown and Vernell's didn't is what overshadowed it. If Vernell's catch had been for a touchdown, you probably have a 1 and 1A situation. But give them both credit. That tremendous plays there. Were you as impressed? Anybody, Buddy, I know you were very impressed with LSU's defense. I was less impressed with LSU's defense as I was. I thought Cade Klubnik had an absolutely horrendous ball game. And I don't think it was necessarily because of the LSU defense. I just thought, he had open receivers all night that he didn't throw the ball to. I watched the replay of that game, and he had several open receivers that I don't know. He just didn't see him or whatever, but he had a bad game. LSU is going to be formidable at home, but I'm not sure that their defense is as great as it's being hyped up to be right now.
Well, I think it's better. They're better. They do bring pressure. Remember, Klubnik everybody raved about a great quarterback he was. And he may be a good quarterback, but he was not the best quarterback on the field that night. And so I just, I think about this is about Sarkisian. We'll have a problem. Your job is to get the guy ready. Number one, his mechanics got to be right. Number two, he's got to be coached up and taught the game plan. Number three, he has to have a surrounding cast. Number four, he's got to be mentally ready to go and play when he is, and he should be able to get the job done. I saw quarterbacks not ready. Klubnik was one of them, by the way.
Yeah.
And Manning was one. I mean, Sarkisian is the great brain trust. I'm always talking to Shane about that. Oh, he's the best. Well, what does he do? He's coughed it up a couple of times in short yardage situations. The last time he played the big game. This time he couldn't get it in from the 1 yard line. Where's this wonderful offense? And not only that, did you see the sidearm motion that Manning throws with? I mean, he has the most famous genes of any quarterback in the history. That throw can be made, but not like that. That's a 98-mile-an-hour fastball sidearm at 10 yards away. They were horrible throws.
He short-armed it.
And how could he have been doing that for How could he do that for 2 years and his coach not call him on it? I don't get it. And then, so I'm blaming Sarkisian first, and then I blame Manning second. So again, getting back to the situation of that's what I saw. I saw quarterbacks who were ready and quarterbacks who were not ready, and there were some that were not ready.
The interesting aspect of this too, and you brought this up earlier somewhat, is the fact that USF, LSU, Miami, next three opponents, all coming off big wins in week one, right?
Yeah.
Would you rather have a team that's coming off a big win and confident, or a team that's a little desperate? I mean, what would you rather face? It's kind of an interesting dynamic there. And you've got, or do you come in a little, if you're USF and you have this big win, do you come in a little complacent maybe versus a team that's going to be fascinating to see in the next 3 weeks how it unfolds that way.
Well, I can tell you one thing. USF is coming in here. Kevin, I think you remember back when Billy was coaching basketball, and they came here after a big win in basketball, and USF came up here to play, and I think they had a guy writing graffiti all over the campus and everything like this. These people are tired of feeling like little brother, and they're going to come in here feeling like this is our chance to at least be called an equal. And because I think they've beaten FSU before, back in a couple years ago before Norvell got there, and they were bad. I think they've beaten FSU before. They've never beaten Florida. And I think this is going to be a big game for them.
I mean, Billy's first season, though, that went down to the wire, and that was not a very good USF team. If you remember Brad Scott, it was his last year, and they needed the field goal to win it. And that was kind of the beginning of where you were wondering, how Billy's first season was going, because they had the big win against Utah. So, this is going to be interesting to see. Again, I often use the term competitive maturity of, I think, both programs, but especially Florida coming off the Long Island win. It seems like from, talking to the players and the coaches today that USF is going to have their undivided attention.
Yeah.
Unlike mine, because I keep referring to UCF. I did that in a video like 3 times.
Yeah, that was Dan Mullins last year, I think, when they did that. It was 31-28.
No, that was
the 2022 season.
That was Billy's first year. It was 2022. I was there, Franz. I remember being in the building.
That was Billy was 23
year.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I was there for it too. I was thinking that was 21 was Mullins last season. I'm getting old, Kev.
That was the game in Tampa that they beat him when AR had the big game in Tampa when they beat him.
So Garrett Nussmeister has got to get some credit for it. He had as good a weekend. He was 19 and 38, not that great in numbers. Klubnik wasn't, and Nussmeister was 28 and 38, 230 yards, and so Nussmeister looks like he's ready for points for a really good season. I was impressed with Carson Beck. I thought he played pretty well.
Yep.
So some
I'll tell you
quarterbacks.
who I was impressed with, buddy. Austin Simmons, who at one time had committed to Florida, and now he's at Ole Miss. And you're talking about a 19-year-old kid who already has his bachelor's degree and is working on his master's already. Very, very bright kid, and he threw for like 344 yards in his first college start. Somebody needs to give Lane Kiffin credit for being a pretty good quarterback guru himself, because
he gets plenty of credit for that, I think.
So Arch, it's interesting because now that the Arch hype has died down, and obviously DJ didn't look quite himself, obviously, in the first half of the game. So week one, who would you say the best quarterback in the SEC is? Would you say it's Nussmeier? Would you say it's Lenore Sellers, guy who got a pretty big win, or maybe even Austin Simmons, who Franz brought up?
I didn't see Simmons. Obviously, I got to go Nussmeier. I think he's right. I've said all along.
Another one. Obviously, he had a pretty good week.
I think John Mateer is going to be the best quarterback.
What did we see out of him?
Yeah, he had 392 yards and 3 touchdown passes.
But he I heard his interview. He said he didn't do as well as he could have. That's what he said. Thought he could play better. Anyway, so I didn't see. I don't know.
5
the same thing,
Yes, I don't know. I mean,
he threw 5 incompletions. I'm sure he was going to say he could have done better.
Yeah.
I mean,
here's one. Nobody had a better weekend than Lee Corso.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been a big hype guy, and I'm like game day okay. I'm not one of these freaks about it. Corso's been good. It was a tribute to him. He was sort of ordained or canonized. I thought I was going to see 3 puffs of white smoke come out of the Vatican. But I give him a lot of credit, and he figured out a long time ago when he and Beano Cook were doing this kind of stuff back in the day, that was about entertainment first.
Yeah.
And that's what was his slogan. It's just entertainment, baby, or whatever it was. Now, he's here's the thing's amazing about him. 90 years old. I give Kirk Herbstreit all the credit in the world for being the kind of guy he was, looking after Lee, and almost like he was his dad. And then he comes out and does this show. They had the highest segment rating they ever had in the history of the show with Lee Corso. The highest ever, okay? Say what you will, but that's big. And those his last one. And he went like 7 for 7. Every pick, he made his main pick Ohio State. And of course, he's known for loving Ohio State. But he even picked Florida State. He said, I'm gonna pick my school. He had every pick correct. Yeah. So nobody had a better weekend than him, man.
Yeah. Buddy, I'll tell you one of the great stories with him. He was the coach at Indiana. He had gone from Louisville up to Indiana, and they're playing Ohio State. And I think this is 69. Ohio State went unbeaten and won the national championship. Ohio State's coming there to Indiana, and Ohio State's like about a 35-point favorite. And coach gets his guys in the locker room before the game, and everybody comes in there, and there's 2 bottles of fingernail polish on each locker. And he has his guys paint each other's toenails with red and white, with white polka dots. And he says, this is going to be our secret. We're going to bond as a team, and we're going to beat Ohio State. And then to top it off, he has them warm up on a high school field. They've painted each other's toenails, and he gets school buses. And 5 minutes before the game, everybody's thinking Indiana is going to forfeit. And all of a sudden, here come these school buses in there with the team, and they come running out on the field, jumping up and down. The crowd goes wild. They take the opening kickoff and score, and I think they got beat like 69-7. It was the only time they scored the whole game. But I give him credit. I mean, that's just brilliant, And you're right, buddy. What an entertainer he's been over the years. My goodness. And 7 for 7. I thought Texas was going to win. I certainly thought Alabama was going to win. Did anybody have a worse weekend than Kalen DeBoer?
And I was just going to say, you Gator fans think you got it bad, you could be an Alabama fan right now. If you listen to Feinbaum today, they are screaming about him, want him out of there, gone. And by the way, I heard Feinbaum say that, what's the guy's name that does the morning show, Orleski, that does he's and apparently a pretty brilliant dude. And I heard Feinbaum say that he put the film up and he showed 21 occasions where Alabama wasn't playing hard. 21. He said these are all at the field, not playing hard enough. So that's a bad sign, and Saban has owned that for so long. You just assumed. I heard the show this afternoon that Kubelik was talking about it, about how Alabama they were the Mac Daddy of defense. When you played them, you knew you were going to get your body a certain way. And they were not taking. They were trying to take guys on and not grab them. They did not play. They played without much effort. Now that's one thing Alabama fans will not forgive you for, not playing with effort. It's going to be a long, long season for
or not playing with physicality too and toughness.
Yeah, that too.
Like you're not, physically strong. And listen, I knew Kalen DeBoer was the offensive coordinator in Indiana when I was working there. Great guy. I saw him in SEC Media Days. Couldn't have been nicer to me. Remembered me from when I covered him there. It just doesn't seem like a good fit, and he was, having so much success at Washington and Fresno. He's a Pacific Northwest guy, but you just sometimes wonder, and listen, different, like Urban Meyer came from the Midwest. He came to the SEC. It worked, but sometimes when you come from a different region of the country and it just doesn't jibe and you don't know the culture or what SEC football is about, it's very interesting and fascinating to see how it's it's going to be a real uphill climb for him to win the fan back after that performance.
I question, I'm looking at this team and I'm starting to think, okay, you're gonna play LSU. That's a loss. You're gonna play at Georgia. Yeah. That's a loss right there.
We'll catch it up later. We're out of time now. I'll get you guys later, but I would just say to you, thanks. Great job, both of you. I'm going to get myself in the next spot and out of here. Great job. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Franz. Looking forward to more information on the boat. Franz Beard on Gator Bay and Gainesville Sun's own Kevin Brockway. I got his name right. See, I told you I know who he was. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
I'll get USF right the next time.
Yeah, okay. All right, thanks, guys. So we're going to call the night, go out with a message from our friends at Titan MRI. And we're going to tell you again, now Titan MRI and Imaging, you'll be able to go there and take an appointment at a time you would like. You can customize that. And you can go at night if you'd like to. There's all kinds of reasons why they make it customer friendly. They have 3 locations to serve you, 2 in Gainesville, Park Avenue location in the Millennium Center, and 1 in Lake City, serving all of Columbia County and Valdosta, Georgia. They offer the same great customer service. They accept insurance. You can go through their convenient self-pay program if you'd like to get a hold of them. And they offer you CAT scans, x-rays, ultrasounds. Again, easy scheduling, go at nights or whatever. They have the large MRI machines for your patient comfort. No ERs and no hospitals. And coming soon to Ocala, better serve Marion County and the people there. Titan MRI and Imaging, you check them out. Thanks to our sponsors tonight. Thanks to our guests. Well, tomorrow night, Lauren Meadows will join you. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, I'll see you on the Shane Matthews, on Pot Up with Matthews. And we always appreciate you checking in with us and keeping us straight here and giving us your comments. Your comments are very valuable to us, so we appreciate it. So please keep us in the loop. Thank you and good night.